The entrances of this world were made narrow. So everybody is going through these straight um roads of difficulty, man. Everybody, 2/3, even the elect. The only difference between us and them is that we have some form of hope. We have the names, we have the truth, we have the brotherhood, and we have this the comforter, man. That's the only thing. But that don't mean that we don't hurt. We're not no damn robots, you know? That's the only thing. The 2/3, they ain't have no hope, man. You know? Let me pull out a scripture. Brothers, bear with me. It's you can there's a lot of scriptures that go through your mind, and then you can forget them in an instant, you know. So let me go ahead and bring out this one that just came to my mind. Is the Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 14. It says, "For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day." So for the hope of the ungodly is like dust, man. It's they don't have no hold on it, because when you read in I believe it's in Hebrews, it says the anchoring of our souls, is our hope and our faith. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 18, or I start at verse 17. "For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial." You see, so they have no hope, man. We have hope because we have Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. There's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Lord willing. The elect have Yahweh Shai, and He's with them. Let me see here. This one real quick. This is Sirach 34 and 1. "The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false." So their hopes, they're vain, man, because they're not hoping in the right thing. We're hoping in the things that are unseen, which is our faith towards Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. So it says, verse 12 again, "Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful." And it's true, man. This is let's see, pull out another scripture. Brothers, bear with me. This is Sirach 13 and 13. "Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep." So we walk in peril of our overthrowing, man. Meaning that anything out here can be to our destruction or to our demise. So it says, verse 13, "For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit." And that's talking about, before iniquity entered in. It was wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. Saying everything was right, it was good. But because of the downfall of Eve and Adam, that's what made everything narrow and full of sorrow and travail. They are but few, meaning that you can die, that's why you have like stillborns, a woman's pregnant and she's gonna bring forth life, but then at the last minute when she's bringing forth the child, it dies, or it dies in the last few minutes in her womb or whatever it was, because of the stress, and may have been strangled by its own umbilical cord, and it dies, or it comes out of the womb and it gets a disease and it dies, man. It only lives for 3 days. That's what it says. But few and evil, and it's evil out here, man, full of perils and very painful. Verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. And that's what we're trying to get back to. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we're doing. We're seeking at the Lord 10 times more, and returning unto Yahweh Shemi Shai, hoping He has mercy on us, and going through these things, these paths of difficulty, and enduring this affliction to receive the kingdom, man. To be found worthy to receive the kingdom, because we know that the elder world was wide and sure, man. It was good. Everything was made right. Now everything is just withering away. Everything is dead. Which that plays a part on our minds too as well. This is 2nd Esdras 6:38. Says, and I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and saidest thus, let heaven and earth be made, and thy word was a perfect work. And then was a spirit, and the darkness and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet formed. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasures, that thy work might appear. Upon the 2nd day thou madest the spirit of the firmament, and commandest in it to part asunder, and to make a division betwixt the waters, and the one part might go up, and the other remain beneath. Upon the 3rd day thou didst command that the waters should be gathered in the 7th part of the earth. 6 parts hast thou dried up and kept them, to the intent that of these some being planted of God and tilled might serve thee. It's talking about the ones, like Adam, and he was selected, and he was commanded to take care of Eden, man, the Garden of Eden, and to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And he ultimately gave him a helper, which was Eve, and they started to bring forth children, Abel being the first, Cain and Abel. It says, for as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made. For immediately there was a great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors wonderful smell. And this was done the 3rd day. You see, so everything was beautiful, man. Everything was fresh. Everything was made right and good. And see. So yeah, that's the point on that. Says verse 14 or 13 again, for the entrance of the world, the elder world, were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. Because we had Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're in good standings. We're given the understanding, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is to make us happy. You know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. But instead, we, like I said, Adam and Eve went off, and that's what brought forth all this different travail. And I got another scripture real quick. This is Sirach 17:1. The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves, and made them according to his image, and put fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech an interpreter of the cogitations thereof, counsel, a tongue, eyes, ears, a heart, gave he them to understand. Withal, he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and showed them good and evil. You see, so that brought immortal fruit, man. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he endowed Adam with. You know, it says he set his eyes upon their hearts that they might show them the greatness of his works. He gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding. And the elect shall praise his holy name. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. You see, so back then they had the law. It was just given to them orally. You know, it says he made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments. Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. You see, and that was via the way of the prophets back then in the ancient times. You know, so it brought forth immortal fruit. You know, and not only that, it smelled. It had all the fruit and everything was out there, man. Everything, you know, herbs, everything was out there that was, you know, wasn't corrupt. It was at its full potential of good. And that's what we're trying to get back to. Verse 14, if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. You see, so it says if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. You know, so you have to, it's required for us to go through that. That's why in Romans 12 it says, present your body as a living sacrifice, which is your reasonable service. You know, because that's what's gonna show the Lord that you're being for real about this thing, and he's gonna grant you that because you show forth, you know, your labor of love towards his people, towards the elect, towards him, and he's not forgetful to reward you for your labor of love. You know, so you can never receive those things that are laid up for you if you don't labor for it, man. You know, and labor brings forth pain. You know, I don't know, you know, brothers here, you had to keep using a pick, having to break, you know, the ground up with a pick or a rock bar. That shit's hard, man. But over time, you start developing more strength. You become more skilled, you know. But in the beginning, you know, it's gonna hurt. You keep getting pain. You can be doing it for 30 plus years. You're still gonna be sore. You're still gonna hurt. You know, and that's how it is with us, man. I mean that because with the Lord, we're men of the Lord or whatever you want to call us. That doesn't mean that we're exempt from pain, from hurt, from sorrow. All right. Verse 15 it says, now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Lord, thou bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but the ungodly should perish. And it's true. You know what I'm saying? Verse 18. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. You see? That's what we're hoping for, the wide, man. We're hoping for the kingdom. That's what that wide represents. You know? It says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wise. See, it says he's telling us that the righteous shall suffer. So we're going to suffer, man. What is suffering? It means pain, to hurt. You know, it don't mean because we have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we're exempt from pain, man. Look what Yahushua was a son of Yahweh or Yahweh, and he still had to be face death. He had to taste death. You know, he had to go through being persecuted and hated and mocked, you know, by his own people, man, and by the heathens too. Let me find this other scripture, Akim. Let's see. see here if I can find it.